Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dak Xavier Josiah, the host of A.C.M.G. Presents Talk Time Live, the podcast. You want to catch up with all of our podcast shows and hear from some of the hottest names in all of anime, comics, movies, and games, such as...
This is Miley Flanagan, the voice of Naruto.
This is Stephanie Shea, the voice of Sailor Moon.
This is Ruben Langdon, voice of Ken Masters and Dante from Devil May Cry.
Hey there, this is Kyle Hebert, the voice of Ryu from Street Fighter V.
This is Chris Battle, character designer of Teen Titans Go.
Here's your chance to check out all of that and more on TalkTimeLive.com. TalkTimeLive.com provides all of our ACMG content with new and previous episodes, exclusive interviews, articles, and much more. Visit TalkTimeLive.com and let us help you learn to let go, live life, and love all things ACMG.
Talk Time Live.
Hi guys, this is Ruben Langdon. You're listening to ACMG Presents Talk Time Live. Shoryuken!
It's time for your Talk Time Live exclusive.
You are now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the show with me right now is returning guest for all the way from Singapore, and that is my good friend Desmond Wong of the GENTLEBROS. If you guys know that, you also know the game that they created. Just how long has it been, Desmond, since the first one?
2017, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
I believe you're correct. It was about the time I had you on the show before to talk about it. But he's back again to talk about the sequel to one of my all-time favorite games that in my entire Switch tenure, and that is Cat Quest 2. I've been waiting to talk about this game, let alone play this game. And Desmond is back after a long touring of promoting this game to talk about what to expect from this game and more. Desmond, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
By the way, I should say good morning in Singapore right now.
Yeah. It's 10 a.m. plus right now. Just woke up. It's the evening for you, right?
Yes, it is. Luckily, you're like in a 12-hour time span, so it's not completely bad. Believe it or not, a 12-minute time span is a lot better than a 3-hour time span of us in the West Coast here because it's easier to keep track of.
With the exception, that's true. Yeah.
With the exception that it rolls over to the next day.
Yep. So the only confusing thing is like, if it's your Tuesday, it's my Wednesday. It's like,
exactly.
That's the only confusing thing.
I don't understand why the logic. I didn't think of that. But here we are. Well, first of all, my good man, congratulations on the success of Cat Quest, the prequel. It absolutely. We talked about it before when you were here 2 years ago. Yeah. One of the most enjoyable experiences and one of the most innovative. Still, I played and reviewed a lot of RPG games and action RPG games and such. None of them matches. Nobody's even tried to match what you guys have done.
Really? Oh, okay.
Which to me is a great thing.
Thanks, but I don't know. We didn't really try to innovate as much as you said. We just want to make a fun game, like an RPG that we wanted to play.
And in doing so, you created a atmosphere. You created a world that, unlike any other game of that genre that I've ever seen. I mean, just like we talked about it before, just the mapping of it and map design that you guys have created for it. It just stands out on its own, and I love it because you have so many different games in that genre, and that one sticks out in a great way. Thanks.
Cool, man.
So
we succeeded.
Yeah, you have. And not only that, I mean, you guys have evolved to not only just successfully coming out with the game, you've come out with different plush toys and items for this. This is pretty cool.
Right, yeah. I think we've been very lucky that all these people started to contact us, and they were trying to see whether they could do something with the Cat Quest characters, and we were like, yeah, why not? We would just give it a try, and yeah, so far it's been going really well. Yeah.
I mean, you obviously caught a niche that people saw a lot of potential with, and you ran with it, and kudos to you guys. By the way, are you still 3 people?
Yeah, we're still 3 people. We brought in one guy for the development of Cat Quest 2. But yeah, it was just a project basis, and he wanted to. We had to let him go to do other things. Yeah, so we're back to 3 people.
Hey, no problem with that. I mean, look, you got an independent contractor or outside, source. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you get the job done.
Right, exactly.
So let's talk about Cat Quest 2. Again, I'm sure myself and other people who've played the first one have been absolutely anticipating this, and the ideas that you guys have coming in for this was really interesting and intriguing. So can you talk about, and I know this is already out on Steam, right?
Yep, it is. Yep.
This is already on Steam, but it will be on iOS, Android, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, practically every console or virtual console out there.
Oh, yes, almost every single console out there.
Right.
It'll be on Switch, PS4, and Xbox later. Is it already October?
Yeah,
it is. Right?
It is already October. So we're talking like I think it's the 25th they have it. Yeah. It's the 25th, right? That they have it down.
24th October.
24th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're torturing me by waiting that long, by the way.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
But let's talk about that. Talk about what should we expect from this version, as opposed to what the last one? Just story based at best.
Right. Yeah. So like in terms of story, the biggest addition we're adding are the introduction of the dogs. Right. So it's not just cats this time.
Right.
It's about dogs as well. Right. So the story and the premise is actually. There's an ongoing war between cats and dogs because cats and dogs don't like each other, right? So the story is about 2 kings who are trying to bring peace back to both of their kingdoms, right? And this is a great chance for us to introduce local cooperative play as well, so you can actually play the game with a friend, right? So on Switch this is perfect because you can just take out those 2 Joy-Cons, split into 2, and you have like a co-op game right there. Yeah, so these are the 2 major additions that we're doing to Cat Quest 2. Obviously, we're adding lots of other stuff as well, like more varied quests, like different kinds of dungeons, right? Dungeons have traps this time. Our quests are much more sophisticated.
Right.
And lots of new different weapon types that just add more variety to gameplay.
Also, along with that, I mean, is this also connecting to the story of the first one as well?
Absolutely. So there are returning characters, and there's a particular story thread from the first game that will continue on to this game. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to build up like similar to how Marvel built up their Thanos, right? We're trying to do something similar with one of our characters.
You're making a universe.
Yeah, we are trying to. We want to make 9 games in this universe. Yeah, because cats have 9 lives, right? So like every game in this universe will build up to that final Avengers level event.
I love it. You guys with the puns.
Yeah.
You guys mastered the cat puns already. Obviously.
Oh, thanks.
Quite obviously with this. Now you're bringing in dogs. How many dog puns are we expected to see in this game?
Oh my gosh. Hopefully almost as many as the cat ones. To be completely honest, dog puns are really hard to do.
Yeah, they are.
There's a lot less to work with for dog puns, and a lot of dog puns are shared with cat puns, like anything that's like paw related, right?
Exactly.
So it was really tough, but hopefully we did it justice, and we apologize in advance if we annoy anyone with our puns.
At least to the new fans, because the casual fans or the new or the hardcore fans of this game already know what should be expected from this. Just on a dialogue base alone.
And it's really funny because like we get feedback from both sides of the coin. Some people love all the puns, while some people are like, wow, there are too many, right? And we even get people who like email us or message us saying we missed out an opportunity for a pun in a particular place. So we're like, damn, should we put in more puns or less puns? We don't know. Yeah.
Right. So with the idea of bringing in a dog, and I don't know I don't remember if we talked about what we should expect from this one last time. I don't know if y'all kept it tight-lipped, but I don't. Was the idea for bringing in a dog character or dog characters into the world something that it was already thought about, prior to the making of the first one, or was it just something that just came out of the blue? And also, were you catering? Was the mean for this to cater to the dog community?
Great question. So in the first game, there was a particular side quest that was dog related.
Right.
And if you were to complete it, at the end of it, the quest giver would tell you, like, you know, if Cat Quest gets popular, maybe will appear, right?
I do remember that.
Yeah. So at that point in time, we already knew that if we were to make a Cat Quest 2, we definitely would want to bring in dogs, right? Because cats and dogs would, like, it would just make a great storyline, right? So, but as to whether players could control the dog, we had not known at that point in time. But the moment we knew that we want to do cooperative play, we knew that one of the characters would have to be a dog to make it more interesting.
Right.
So it's a little bit like a buddy cop adventure, right? Like one guy's a cat, one guy's a dog. They don't like each other,
right?
But they have to work together to like complete an objective.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah.
Now, being that you actually are far away in Singapore, I don't know if you're aware, but you have traveled here for like certain game events.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right. So, did you guys ever look at like the target audience for us per se and notice that we are a very pet centric country in a sense, and look at that and also say, you know, maybe we should work with a certain nonprofit or something like that, or work around to, you know, working it to, because I mean, like I said, you have a cat character, a dog character. I can see this advertised on Animal Planet, other type of things, you know, the network that we have over here, stuff like that. Does that ever come to mind, or am I giving you these information right now?
I'm actually learning all of this.
You write it down?
Now. Yeah. I'm like jotting it down in my head. But no, I think we really never thought of that. Like, I guess we've just been so preoccupied with just trying to finish the game, like just trying to get a game out,
and just trying to get it established, I guess.
Yeah. We just haven't thought of all the different kinds of things we could like bring the IP into. Which is a lot now that you mention it.
Oh,
so,
God!
Yeah.
If you really understand what we have in the States here, you know, just look beyond that of the gaming industry. It's a possibility you could break into something else, and maybe in
that's true.
And
well,
actually,
yeah. Well, yeah, maybe the next time we're like down there, like in the States, we should definitely check this out.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, I mean, vet hospital stuff like that. I mean, I believe that there's, and this is the multimedia development part of me talking right now. The marketing side of me is talking on this part too, because always when I play certain games, like when I play games like yours. And I interviewed the guys from Way Forward Games just recently on their brawler beat 'em up River City Girls, and I saw so much potential in that I felt that they could go a little bit farther if you know, was supported in such like that. This is one of those other games again that I see. This can really do something really big, or even do something bigger than what it was intended to do.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and that was always our goal with the Cat Quest brand. Like we never actually wanted to keep it stuck inside games, right? We always wanted to try to bring it out to as many different places and people as possible, which is why we tried going into merch and different things. Like there was even someone who was emailing us with a potential like TV series deal or something, which we didn't take in the end because the deal wasn't that great. But it's definitely stuff that we want to explore. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It sounds like a great opportunity. And yeah, we might even want to try and do it locally here in Singapore first to like test it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds awesome, man.
Oh, absolutely. I'm getting 5%. No,
okay.
No, but I digress. When you guys, I mean, since we last talked, there's a ton, like I said, there's a ton of games that have come out literally on the Switch alone.
That's true, yeah. Ugh.
How has that outcome, and I know you've been checking out some games yourself along the way, but how has some of the games that have come out affected the way you guys thought about, you know, developing Cat Quest, or even the other projects that you may have in mind?
This might not be a really good thing for us, but we don't really try to let a lot of what's happening outside affect how we make our games, right? Which might be a bad thing, because we kind of feel like we have a certain idea of what we want to do with our games.
Yeah.
And we already have a certain roadmap that we want to follow.
Right.
So if we let too much of what's happening outside, like the certain trends and stuff, affect how we make our games, we feel that might like take away from the original vision of what we wanted to do.
And making it as organic and original as possible, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of the decisions we made for Cat Quest 2, right, was born out of feedback that we got from our fans.
Yeah.
And not really so much about what's the latest, hottest thing out there. Right. So like one of the biggest comment and feedback that we got was people wanted cooperative play. Right, so that's like because parents will buy this for their kids and they will like want to play the game with their kids as well.
Right.
So this was something we definitely want to do, but it was not based because there were like lots of local co-op games out there now or the lack thereof, but more from what our fans wanted to see from the next game. And yeah, we believe in like catering to our fans first, like because they are our most loyal supporters and biggest fans of our games.
Right.
Yeah.
Now. Again, that goes back to what I was saying as to why your game or your guys' game is so original and it stands out from everybody else. And that you might have just answered that's the reason why. You know, the fact that, you know, I haven't seen a game just like yours. And at the same time, when you really say, from what you just said, it's possibly based upon the fact that you guys focus on something that you want to do that didn't mimic anybody else.
That's true. That could be right. Because we feel like if you're trying to copy something else, right, that thing's already been done, right? So it's not like new and fresh anymore. And if you're trying to work right on the wave of like the latest fad, like by the time your game launches, that fad would already be over and you've like missed the boat, right? So it's right, yeah.
And again, I mean, you another thing that based upon what you just said that I thought about is like, yeah, that answers the question because I hate cookie cutter things. I hate when somebody does something so original that it should not be imitated or duplicated. And again, Cat Quest to me is one of those games that I see you as the only one doing it. And then furthermore, that nobody else has done it. And if they do it, it's just like, oh, this is a cookie cutter copycat. No pun intended. Damn it, I was hoping to get through this interview without punning. But
we would.
Nevertheless, that's exactly what it is. And I that's why I think I enjoy this now game series quite a bit. So what would you say is probably the most proud aspect of Cat Quest 2 for you?
The most proud aspect of Cat Quest 2, I don't know, man. I think we're like really proud of a lot of things, and also like quite nervous about some stuff as well. I mean, the game has already been out, so we kind of know people's like reactions to the certain things we did. Yeah. But I think the proudest thing I personally feel that we did was we managed to retain the spirit and feel of the original Cat Quest in Cat Quest 2, because a lot of the times when you're making a sequel, right, you're always afraid that like if you change too much, you might lose what made the first game great, right? Agreed. Or if you change too little, it might be too similar to the first game. So like seeing responses from people like oh, this like Cat Quest 2 gave me the same feeling I had when I played Cat Quest 1, or like Cat Quest 2 was such a huge improvement from Cat Quest 1. It just makes us feel like really happy that on some level we succeeded. Yeah, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. What would you say is one of your favorite things about this sequel?
Definitely the cooperative play, because it just adds so much to the game. Like if you thought Cat Quest 1 was like fun, right? Like Cat Quest 2 with a friend, like it's like even more fun. So it's quite good. Yeah.
Would you you still were able to work on the same engine that you worked on before, or did you recreate a whole? Okay, so you just expanded on that one.
Yes and no, because Cat Quest 1 was a solo single player game, right? So a lot of our code was written with that in mind. So we thought when starting on Cat Quest 2 that we could just like bring a lot of what we did in Cat Quest 1 to that. but we were like really, really wrong, and a lot of the things we made could not work for 2 players, right? So we eventually what we realized we had to do was we had to like make a lot of the things from the ground up again. Yeah. Right. So our entire quest system was built from the ground up. Our entire combat system was built from the ground up because we had to take a second player into consideration now. Right. So yes, we're using the same engine and some of the tools and some of the art pipelines, but I would say like 90% of the code base had to change just because we wanted to bring a second player in.
Right. Now, this is I haven't had the chance to play it yet until it comes out on the 24th. Yeah. Is the co-op play can be done single player and with 2 players, or is it just like you pick the canine character or the feline character?
All right. So if you're playing single player, right, both the cat and dog would be available to you at all times. So it's kind of like a party, right? Yeah. And you can swap between the cat and dog at any time, and the other character will be controlled by the AI.
Oh, I would love this.
Yeah. So that's how solo play works. If you're playing cooperative play, obviously one person will control the cat, the other person will control the dog.
Right.
And it's completely seamless. So at any point of time, you can just switch back and forth between solo or cooperative play at any point, at any time. Yeah.
And I noticed that on your website, it does say that there are more of what we expect from the first one, but more. How many more weapons are we going to get this time in spells?
Well, okay. In terms of spells, there's double the number of spells, right? So like a lot of the returning ones are coming back, right? But some of them have changed. Right, so like Heal Paw is a lot different now.
We talking about new animations and stuff like that, or
new animations, new ways it actually functions, on a fundamental level. Yeah, so like for example, the healing spell in the first game was like you would just cast it and it would just heal like a one-time effect, right? But in the second game, the Heal Paw is like it drops down an area of effect and it heals over time. So what this does is it lets someone be the healer, right? So he can drop down the healing paw circle and the second player can run into it to get some of that healing as well. Right. So these are just some ways that because we have to consider a second player now. So a lot of the spells have to change to accommodate that. Right. In terms of weapons, we are introducing 2 new weapon types. So in the first game we only had 1, right? It was just like the close range combat. So now there's 3 weapon types in total. So there's the swords, right, which are like the fast melee weapons. Right. There's like a magic staff right now. So these are our long range weapons, which is one of the biggest new additions to the game as well. So not only will you be able to attack close range with like swords and stuff, now you'll be able to like fire lightning bolts from projectiles from afar. Exactly. So this is really cool because if you're playing with a friend, right? Yeah. Like maybe your friend can be like the close range guy, and you can be like supporting him from the back with your magic weapon, right? So it's really awesome. And the last weapon is more of like a heavy great sword type. So it's a bit like the melee weapon, but it's a lot slower and it has much larger reach. Right. So it feels different and yeah, it's pretty cool. Cool. Yeah.
Were you able to, or was there, or let me reword that. Was there anything from the first game that you couldn't do that you're doing now in the second game?
Wait, let me try to remember. Yes, we wanted to do like this is a kind of small thing, but we wanted to do like passive abilities for our different items and stuff because like just having stat benefits alone can get a little. It can get a little hard to distinguish one armor from the other, right? Yeah. But now with Cat Quest 2, we managed to get that in, right? So every weapon, or at least most of them, have a very distinct passive ability that makes it stand apart from others. Right. So yeah, so there can be some armors that give you like plus 10% to ice damage and stuff like that. So if you want to build a very specific kind of build that specializes in ice, the ice element, that particular armor set might be the best one for you, right? A lot of quality of life checks, quality of life stuff that we wanted to do in the first game, like just simply upgrading your armor, right? That's something we wanted to do in the first game. but we could not manage to because of time constraints. But now we've managed to get it in.
Right.
So that's cool. Yeah.
So in other words, also, and speaking of adding on events, is this like a bigger game in terms of actual like memory space or memory requirements and such too, or is it right around the same?
It's definitely bigger. Like I'm not sure exactly how much bigger, but it's definitely a bigger game in terms of file size, right? But in terms of content as well, it's a lot bigger.
Right.
It's at least double the content. In the first game, we only gave you the cat kingdom to explore, but this time you'll be able to explore the dog kingdom as well.
Right.
Yeah. So that's like, and it's every bit as big as the cat one, with its own quests and NPCs and storylines and stuff.
Awesome. So I got 2 more questions for you, but I just want to thank you once again for being on the show. You're always an awesome guest.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Absolutely, not a problem. Glad you were able to wake up in the morning time to talk to me.
I was worried about that actually. I was like, can I wake up today? I better set an alarm.
But no, one of the final questions I have is that one, we see Game Freak, who's done the Pokemon series for God knows how long, and when you think about it, they grew their business solely on that franchise.
That's true, yeah.
Are you guys planning to really focus on Cat Quest to that length, or also do you have other games in mind that you want to work on? But but for now, just going to be Cat Quest.
That's a really great question, and this is something that we've always discussed amongst ourselves, right? So on one hand, we really want to build up this Cat Quest brand, right? Because we feel it's the best kind of business decision you could make, rather than taking the risk with a new game each time. You're constantly building upon something that works and making it better and better and better, right? So that makes a lot more sense, right? But on the other hand, it's also creatively quite stifling, because you're essentially kind of making the same thing, not really the same thing, but the same kind of thing, right? Over and over, and it can get a little suffocating.
Which is why I still wondered why Pokemon lasted this long. But again, I go back and play that game to find out, and I'm like, this game is still fun. Yeah,
it's still fun, right? The formula still works, right? But as a developer, like making that again, I think it must have been quite tiring for them. I think, but I think for like the Pokemon company, like they probably bring in new, like fresh blood all the time, right? So they're constantly getting new ideas from all these new people they're bringing in, right? So that's really important if you want to keep like a franchise as long as Pokemon going the length it has, right? But besides that, internally we also have a lot of different ideas. Like we want to make many different games, and maybe even a game set in Singapore, because we haven't really seen a game like that before.
Right.
So that's like some that's stuff we definitely want to do. But on one hand, we also want to try to keep pushing this Cat Quest brand, which is a tough decision.
I'll also give you another example of a game series. I mean, like I said, I just had the Way Forward guys there, and they developed a game that is based on a long time franchise, and that was I don't know if you're familiar with Konio-kan games.
Sorry, say that again.
Konio-kan, which is basically River City Ransom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, if you remember, that game has started way back in the Nintendo era, and they branched. Lo and behold, in Japan, they had a ton of different games based on that one series, and they branched out to like a version of a volleyball. It's a dodgeball version of the game, and then they had other games that involved which expanded on the universe of that character. So, I mean, do you ever think of doing that for as a way of just?
No, you hit the nail on the head, man. That's exactly why we're making those 9 games, right? So not all those 9 games would be in the mainline Cat Quest series,
right?
So we want to use this chance to experiment and explore different kind of mechanics we can do in the world as well. So there may be a game that's like Cat Quest Tactics, right? Which is like more like strategic based gameplay.
Final Fantasy, like real time strategy.
Like Final Fantasy Tactics, exactly. Yeah. So there may be a game where you play as a cat burglar in the capital. So it's like a more stealth based game, right? And then we can do like another one which is like it takes place in the afterlife, right? So in purgatory, right? So like how does the world function like in the afterlife, and that game will maybe be a bit more Metroidvania-ish, more
right.
Dark Souls-ish, right? So this gives us a chance.
Very interesting.
Yep. So that gives us a chance to like try different ideas and mechanics, and not be stuck making like the same kind of RPG over and over. Yeah.
Like the cat Punisher and just pun the whole time.
Yeah. Actually, the afterlife idea we're like super interested in, because like there's always the saying all dogs go to heaven, right? So it'd be really funny to see like dogs walking up this huge stair to heaven, and all the cats are stuck in purgatory or something. I don't know. Right. Yeah, that's something we want to explore. Yeah.
So my last question to you, I mean, you guys, like I said, you three have, and kudos, by the way, if they hear this, kudos to all of you for all the work that you guys have done, because for 3 people to do what you did is nothing short of phenomenal. And the indie developing generation is just nothing short of awesome.
Thank you. It makes us really happy to hear that.
Oh, well deserved. But but at the end of the day, is the end game for you guys as the Gentle Brothers Games? Is the end game for you guys to remain independent, or is it to actually eventually work alongside a main company and try to merge with them? Like, say Microsoft come along and they wanted to work with you guys, or buy you out or whatever. What's the end game for you guys?
So currently the answer may sound disappointing, but we got together to make this because we just simply wanted
there's no wrong answer for
to
this.
Make games.
There's no wrong answer for this, by the way.
No. I mean, it may be a disappointing answer, not a wrong one. Yeah. So we all we want to do was just make games, right? So like our end goal is to just keep doing what we've been doing, and I think we'll be really happy. Yeah. Right. So like one of our partners, he's like, we could just keep it going this way, like how those family businesses handle it, right? Yeah, we don't need to be like $1 billion like company.
Right.
That's not. Yeah, that's never been our goal. We just wanted to.
It's art. It's the art.
Yes, it's just the art. We want to keep our fans, and like make sure our fans enjoy playing the games we make, and just make sure we ourselves have fun, like making those games, right?
Right.
But of course, like the more we do this, the more we start to realize, hey, maybe we need some kind of end goal, because like we're not getting any younger anymore, right? So like how long can we really keep doing
let's
this?
Let's talk to you 10 years from now, according here.
Yeah, I'll be like, damn, we should have had a exit plan, man. Yeah. But so like we were pretty young when we started this, and now we're starting to feel like like if we keep going like this in 10-20 years, can we still do this, right? So instead of like a exit plan or like an end goal, we need to find a way to keep it sustainable, and maybe somehow pass this on to maybe the next generation or the next batch of people who can like carry this on,
and carry it with the integrity that you guys originally were intending.
Exactly. Because I don't know, like maybe at the rate we're going, I don't know whether we can do all those 9 games like in our lifespan. But yeah.
I can tell you this. It literally, with that passion that you guys carry and the results of this game, I really do see good things, and I wish you definitely, all 3 of you, definitely the best in that.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much for joining the show, Desmond. It's been an honor to have you back. I do look forward to having you back again for all the other versions of this game.
Yeah.
That is coming out. And congratulations again for this. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Cool. Folks, and it's coming out on the 24th on all platforms?
All platforms, yeah. Switch, PS4, and Xbox, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it best. If you want to check out one of the most fun game experiences, and especially for those who love our cat lovers and now dog lovers especially, there's a lot of them out there, go out of your way, check out Cat Quest 1 and 2, because you got to go through 1 and then enjoy 2. I'm just saying, I highly recommend you go out of your way to check out the first one before you jump in on the second one. Even if you're a dog person, you got to check it out where it led to this point. But go out of your way. It's coming out October 24th on all platforms: Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox, iOS, and it's already out on Steam now, so you guys have the pleasure of checking it out. And Desmond, thanks a lot. Thanks all of you guys at the Gentle Brothers, and I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing what you guys go up with next.
Thank you, and it was great being here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Folks, that will do it. On behalf of myself, this is Dak Xavier Josiah with Desmond Wong saying, learn to let go, live life, and love all things anime, comics, movies, and games. This is A.C.M.G. Presents Talk Time Live. We are out of here. Take care, meow, and bark. This episode of ACMG Presents Talk Time Live is brought to you in part by Viewfinder's Identity Search and Design. Your choice for web design, graphic design, and all multimedia development needs. Visit VFISAD.com and let us bring your vision to reality.